It's time once again to turn back the clock and take a look at Swindon from a time gone by. More Swindon Through the Years, comparing the images from the past with those of a modern Swindon. And this time we're turning back the clock to the 1990s. It was boom time for Swindon, expansion, conversion and improvements, all captured by the Swindon cable cameras for the weekly news programme This is Swindon. We now look back at some of those images, capturing a town in transition, frozen in time, in more Swindon Through the Years. Delving into the Swindon Cable Archive, we're turning back the clock to 1994. Another look at Swindon through the years. Here's the Oasis Leisure Centre and a view from 2017 of what was Swindon's once groundbreaking and foremost leisure hotspots. The Oasis at North Star was the place to go for generations of youngsters if you wanted fun in the pool, a concert, or in fact any of the other sports provided. So let's turn back the clock to 1994 and we can see in our view that the water slides had already been installed. They were a later addition to the pool, which had its grand opening on the 1st of January 1976. It truly was a groundbreaking building, with one of the country's few wave machines to entertain generations of Swindon's splashing water babies. Today, the building is almost hidden. The trees and shrubs have matured to almost hide the dome from view. This is the tower where swimmers enter the 3 water flumes, known as the Dome Busters, and we notice across the years the framework changes colour. And here's a view you don't see very often. The Oasis pool emptied to allow essential maintenance to take place back in 1994. The periodic overhauls always meant disappointment for swimmers who turned up to find the pool out of use. It provides unusual views of the empty lagoon pool. The centre was already 18 years old when these images were taken, clearly showing the design of the futuristic dome lagoon pool with its ever-popular wave machine. Seeing the pool without water certainly makes for an interesting view. Here's the control pod where announcements about the end of swim sessions was made, next to what was the deep diving pool. The pool was further enhanced with the later addition of the 3 giant water slides, the Sidewinder, the Great White and the Screamer, collectively known as the Dome Busters. They provided fun for the whole family. Across the years, millions of people have visited the Oasis. At one time it was Wiltshire's top tourist attraction, even ahead of Stonehenge. It's clear the centre has been neglected. It's lost some of its glamour since opened back in 1976. It really was the place to go, and generations of youngsters have grown up being treated to a day out with a trip to the Oasis. And as I'm producing this video, the Oasis is closed. The sound of screaming children in the pool, the waves crashing poolside and the tropical heat are just a memory as the fight goes on to save this part of Swindon's leisure history. It's sad the Oasis is no longer the attraction it once was, and only time will tell if it survives and gets the investment it needs to secure its future. This really is one of Swindon's historic buildings, and it's easy to forget just how important this building is and the part it's played in Swindon's history. Growing up in the 1970s, I was one of thousands of children that regularly attended Milton Road Baths swimming lessons on a weekly trip from school. Catching the double-decker bus to make a splash and try and earn your red, yellow or green swimming badges. The building has regularly been in the news as plans are discussed for future use and any sympathetic refurbishment of the Victorian building that was once the only swimming pool in the town. The Milton Road Baths opened in 1891 with 2 swimming pools, washing facilities and Turkish baths, a dispensary and all sorts of other medical facilities including dentistry, all paid for by workers of the Great Western Railway through their contributions to the Medical Friendly Society. As we turn back the clock, it shows that very little has changed apart from signage. By 1994, it had changed its name from the Milton Road Baths to the Milton Road Health Hydro to better reflect its more modern use. The services provided here later became the blueprint for the country's National Health Service. Thankfully, it remains intact and an important part of Swindon's history that is still used every day by local people. Externally, the building has changed very little across the years and still provides those important leisure facilities. There has been much debate about future refurbishment that could see some of the historic fabric of the building lost forever. Currently, only one of the 2 swimming pools are open for use. It's encouraging that the Victorian-built facility still has an important role to play in a modern town like Swindon. So let's hope the building is around for many more years to come. From one major leisure venue to another, the space-age looking Link Centre in West Swindon is our next location. Building began in 1983 to house the ice rink, swimming pool and gym and many other leisure facilities, and opened in April 1985. It received an estimated 1 million visitors in its first year of operation. The venue's been home of the Swindon ice hockey teams and even houses the West Swindon Library. We feature the outside of the building and the library as we turn back the clock to 1994. Over the years, the Link Centre has adapted to changing tastes and interests, with updated facilities, and most recently saw the climbing wall replaced by a trampoline park. The old familiar logo for the Link Centre has been replaced with less inspiring modern branding, reflecting the fact that it's no longer run directly by Swindon Borough Council or Thamesdown as it used to be known. It's an iconic building and an unusual design, and you either love it or loathe it. These 1994 views show an exhibition at the Link Centre Library and youngsters enjoying themselves. The venue regularly played host to unusual exhibitions and events. Incredible to think that 27 years later, many of those children will now have families of their own. Over the years, the Link Centre has adapted to the changing tastes and interests and continues to play an important part in the recreational lifestyles for people in the west of Swindon. We'll have more Swindon Through the Years coming soon, but in the meantime, please do remember, like, comment and share. We'd like to hear your memories of a changing town. And look out, more Swindon Through the Years coming soon.